go. ECU in the home whites, Tulane in the road green uniforms. Veteran officiating crew led by Steve Olson, who has officiated 18 different NCAA tournaments, and we are underway in Greenville. Mark, the Pirates this season with signature wins against Memphis and Temple, and an early traveling violation against ECU's B.J. Tyson, and an early turnover.
Yeah, those wins came back to back. First possession, Tulane opened up in a matchup zone. East Carolina more traditional. This is a 2-3 with high wings.
Green Wave go to work. Coming in at 1-10 in league play. And here's another turnover with the steal is Barkley. Williams in transition, and the strong finish at the rim.
You know, Roy, for either one of these teams, easy points are at a premium because they both can struggle in the half court. And what I mean by high wings, the 2-3 zone, it's the two wing guys are really high.
2 possessions, 2 turnovers for the Green Waves. Williams into traffic. And Tyson a miss from distance.
Well, Tulane needs to get a shot on goal. Stop playing giveaway.
Osikowski, our first look at him, 21 in green. Malik Morgan, the LSU transfer with the floater. And Osikowski on the offensive glass with the putback.
Yeah, this is a challenge for East Carolina. We talked to Jeff Lebo today. He wasn't bashful about talking about his team's rebounding woes. They are not a big team at all.
Yeah, he mentioned Kanu Aja specifically. And he told us, Mark, that he had the same number of defensive rebounds in the last game as the head coach did in Ziggy. And that'll put ECU back out in front. That's never a good sign when you're rebounding at the same pace as your head coach.
The soft spots are that area, that free throw line area.
Wow. Rejection by Inzighi. And a late whistle. That'll be his first personal.
Let's go back to the other end. Watch this individual move. High post area. Little drop step. Inzighi, I didn't know he could create his own off the bounce. That's pretty impressive. Then he picked up a tough foul on the other end.
Played his freshman year at Winston-Salem State. Smith at the strike. And the big center converts the first of 2.
Smith in the starting lineup because Giroux did not make the trip. The 6'10" senior transfer. A little short-handed in the front court. This is the 6th game that Giroux has missed.
Token pressure applied by Julian, and ECU back to work offensively. You know, Mark, you wonder this late in the season, the mindset of both of these teams entering the second half of conference play. They've struggled at times this year, maybe already building towards next season.
And yet both coaches, I thought, spoke glowingly about their team's morale today.
Williams drives, and a foul called under the basket. And I think that's encouraging if you're a fan of either one of these two teams. Neither one of these coaches giving up this year, of course, but also still very positive, along with the momentum of the teams themselves.
Well, I think where these teams and where Jeff Lebo and Ed Conroy find themselves, they're coaching with one eye on this February and probably the other eye on next February.
Foul went against Malik Morgan, his first.
Well, here's a guy that is really playing well lately. Prince Williams has kind of found his groove in the last semester of his career.
Better late than never.
Again, notice how high the wings are, the 2 forwards. They're almost free throw line extended. I'll tell you who else plays this kind of zone. Syracuse.
You look up the definition of a matchup zone and for the Orange and Jim Boeheim, that's what you're going to see. Foul in the screen attempt. And the Green Wave turn it over as Osikowski picks up his first.
This is almost a battle of who can work in the soft spots of the zone. And the 2 soft spots of both of these zones are that free throw line area and the short corner. If the ball goes in there, good things will happen.
And of course, as a former coach, you love the fundamentals in attacking a zone. The pass fake, the shot fake, whipping it around the horn with some sort of authority, right?
Ball movement and body movement. I think that part gets lost.
10 on the shot clock for the Pirates.
Notice guys are cutting in and out of the zone, making it tough for the Tulane defense to match up.
Barkley the miss. Here come the Greenway. More than 3 minutes in, a 2-point lead for ECU. Dabney, a senior, that's numeral 0 in green. Leading scorer for Tulane at 13 per. Morris thought about it. Osakowski, the corner tray.
Just his 9th 3-ball of the year. I thought that was through the rafters.
Tyson, 17-footer. Silky smooth baseline.
I do think East Carolina is more comfortable playing a faster pace.
Averaging 77 points per game at home this season. About 16 points better than what they're doing on the road. Morris, the quick trigger. And the rebound controlled by Caleb White. Now, White had a concussion a couple of weeks back, now healthy, and probably one of ECU's best shooters.
Well, here early on, it's all about the offense on both sides of the floor. For Tulane, the big fella steps out. Osakowski with the shot from bonus land. And on the other end of the floor, East Carolina answers. Caleb White, that's a good sign for the Pirates. On the outside looking in, but very close.
You've seen the Bearcats up close and personal. I can say the same thing about Tulsa. You've also seen Temple as well. All of those teams, in my opinion, capable of making a deep run if they can make the field of 68.
Well, that's the million-dollar question. Tulsa has a game of huge importance for them because they're on the road later tonight at SMU.
Step back, Dabney short. That's not really the shot that Ed Pomeroy wants to see from his star player. He wants Dabney attacking the rim. At least that's what he told us.
I know Dabney fought a wrist injury earlier in the year, but he actually shot the ball better a season ago. And I think he's forced some things and felt some pressure in his senior year. There's that soft spot.
Beautiful ball movement. Tyson attacks. And a bad pass nearly coughs it up. Tyson hit from 17 moments ago and again right now.
That's the old make a bad pass, get it back, knock down the shot play.
He did that intentionally, didn't he? Blocking foul called against the Pirates as Tyson is shuffling the feet. That'll be his second.
Yeah, you're not going to win many matchups physically on the perimeter with Lewis Dabney. Linebacker body, guard skills.
Check that, just the first personal on Tyson. 6-point lead for the Pirates, their largest so far. Now you going back to Tulsa and Cincinnati, those are teams with athleticism, with experience. And Mark, if they get it going offensively, if they get a couple of hot shooters, then they're really dangerous.
Well, you know, you've worked enough games with me that one of my pet peeves is coaches that keep talking about they need to defend and rebound. No, you need to make shots. And I know when Cincinnati's making shots, they're really good. When Tulsa's making shots, they're really good. But when they're not, they become very average. But there's a lot of teams in that average boat.
Dylan Osakowski on the bench right now. We're being told that he perhaps tweaked his back, so that'll be a developing story worth following.
That'd be a huge loss.
6-point lead for ECU. Tulane back to work. Reynolds to turn around. In and out.
It's been that kind of year shooting-wise. That was a really good move.
Barkley in traffic to bump. Now head back to the free throw line.
Earlier in the game, we talked about Osakowski. Watch the arc on this shot. That's above the shot clock. But as he comes back up the floor, he's already grimacing.
We watched him shoot around earlier this morning. It appeared to be okay. In fact, every single Tulane player came over to introduce themselves to us, which I thought was a nice gesture. But
well, if you have to play, if you're Ed Conroy and you have to play You didn't already have Giroux. He didn't make the trip. That's one 6'10" guy. And if Osakowski cannot go, that's 6'9".
6 minutes in here in Greenville, a 7-point advantage for the homestanding Pirates. And a foul as Williams picks up the personal.
Boy, when your team goes through offensive droughts, when they get into offensive quicksand, there's two ways that you can get out of it without making a shot. One is to go to the offensive glass, or the other is to draw fouls by driving the ball to the rim.
Get to the line.
Right now, Tulane's not doing either one.
That was one of our questions coming in. Would the Green Wave be able to muster enough offense
on cue
to have a chance to win on the road? And that's exactly what they need more of.
On cue, Malik Morgan found a little crease in that zone. Drive the ball to the rim under control. Get yourself to the free throw line.
See the numbers on Osakowski. He has really improved his game this year. Just a sophomore. And at 6'8", 245, losing that size will be detrimental. Morgan 63% at the line this season, converts the first of two.
Morgan, the left-hander, one of many Molly Dukers in this game.
Wait a second, Molly Dukers?
Absolutely. Ben Simmons is a Molly Duker. And East Carolina's two leading scorers are Molly Dukers.
Give me the details on what a Molly Duker is, dare I ask.
It's an Australian term for left-hander.
Very good. You're dropping knowledge this early in the game.
Tulane out of that zone, straight man-to-man.
Ed Conroy switch up the defense, 6.5 minutes in. And White, fortunate that Paul kicked it.
And by rule, the shot clock, which was at 10, should go back to 15.
You like the rule changes we've seen this year? Scoring is up, possessions are up.
Absolutely. We know that shot clock is worked because possessions are up. But scoring is up, and many people thought it would only be up because of the number of free throw attempts because of the officiating directives. That has not been the case. Everything they have tried to do in terms of tempo has worked, in my view.
Kane Harris shuffled the feet. And the freshman from Chicago turns it over. A 5-point lead for the Pirates. Ed Conroy searching for answers on that bench, and he does not have a lot of options with all the injuries.
There's a lot of youth on that bench. He told us today when he wanted to sub earlier in the year when they had more bodies available. Everybody that he looked to, he was bringing in a freshman.
Gary checks in for the first time. 34 and white for ECU. Tyson, an aggressive move. High off the glass, but short. Dabney's gotten off to a quiet start. Will force it. And probably shouldn't have. East Carolina initiating the offense. 18 on the shot clock. Tejada checks in. And now White amongst the trees. Back iron. And Barkley, hard work inside on the offensive glass. Kentrell Barkley, the freshman from Durham. This guy's got some promise.
Good looking freshman. Here's the White miss. Tipped around Barkley. You know, offensive rebounding is a lot of want to. I always say if you want to be an offensive rebounder, do you want to be a photographer and watch everything develop, or do you want to be a participant and get involved?
Barkley at the line this season, 72%. Missed the first one there as Melvin Frazier checks in for the first time.
I think if I'm Ed Conroy, I don't think my team's played very well. I've got an injured starter, and I'm down 6.
Clarence Williams back in. Interesting season this year for Jeff Lebo. It very much is a transitional type of situation, really, with both of these schools as they've gone from Conference USA to the American. And when it comes to recruiting, that's an entire different level. And Mark, you think about it, both of these programs recruiting to Conference USA 4 or 5 years ago, another turnover. It's going to take some time. 6-point lead for East Carolina, 11:51 remaining in the first half. Coming up, going to drop some knowledge as Mark gets wise in the huddle.
Searching for a hotel on...
All those unforced turnovers he'd like to see eliminated.
Back now to live action with Mark Wise, Roy Philpott. Glad you could join us. East Carolina 8-4 at home this season, and another turnover as Tyson is whistled for the violation. He traveled. That's been feast or famine for ECU's offense. 3 turnovers in the early going, but a pretty hot start from the field.
Changing defense, 2-2-1, 3-quarter look, but they'll drop back to this 2-3. There's the soft spot. Reynolds has got to attack.
Dabney for 3, and that's a good sign for Tulane to try to get his shot going. Just 28% from bonus land this year.
Well, again, the ball got to the right spot. Good things happen when you find one of those weak spots of the zone. Let's see if Tulane can guard the ball a little better.
Williams inside looking for Zangari.
I said get the ball to the free throw line area. The last possession for Tulane. Even though Reynolds doesn't attack, look at everybody drop low. Then the kick out is on the money. Dabney shoots in rhythm. That's a good zone possession by the Green Wave.
You know, we asked Ed Conroy, who's your X factor tonight? He said, my star, Dabney. We got to get him going. He's got to attack the rim. Reynolds from 10 feet, back iron. And it'll be East Carolina basketball. See the turnovers and another substitution coming in for Jeff Lebo's team. Charles Foster makes his first appearance, averaging right at 3 points per game. It takes some time, doesn't it, to transition from Conference USA to the American?
Well, you have to remember that recruiting is a 3-year timeline. And they're just, both of these programs are just in 2 years, in the second year in the league. And what I mean by that is, if you're not in on sophomores, you don't get them as seniors out of high school. It's a 3-year timeline.
3 to shoot. White. And good defense that time by the Green Wave. Translation, it's going to take some time.
Tulsa benefited. They were the 3rd program to enter last year, but they had 2 great, and still have, 2 great guards.
Osikowski checks back in. That's a good sign. And another traveling violation. We've seen that a couple of times already, Coach.
Guys get a little anxious, a little happy feet. You've seen guys with happy feet in the pocket, correct?
You're talking about that pigskin game?
That other game.
Yeah. I've seen announcers get happy feet at times too, my friend. Halfway through the first. Feels like Tulane has weathered that early East Carolina storm after trailing by 14-7. A 14-7 count, rather, right out of the gate. 7 on the shot clock. Foster inside. Good defense again by the Green Wave. And Frazier got caught in traffic.
I just don't know where players are going off the bounce. There's too much traffic. This is exactly what Ed Conroy talked about. Slow down. They had a good defensive sequence, and then Frazier decides he's going to split defenders going 100 miles an hour. Off White's foot, off Osikowski's foot, and another turnover.
Eight turnovers here in the first half so far for the Green Wave. Barkley's been active in the early going inside. Aja with a flush. Averaging just 3 points per game. He spent his last 2 seasons at City College of San Francisco. Offense is almost a bonus with him. The lead is pushed back to 5. East Carolina back in the zone.
See, every dribble you take, the zone does not move.
Dabney, contested jumper, count it.
Well, that's what you get is a frustrated shot. Bad shot, good shot.
Dabney now with 5 points. The lead has been trimmed to 3. Williams a step back. And Osikowski the rebound. So an opportunity now for Tulane on the road to perhaps tie it, make it a 1-point contest, and Dabney will do just that.
Little hesitation move in the blow-by. Love it in transition.
Dabney with 7.
Tulane doing a much better job with their on-ball defense.
The intensity level has been noticeably picked up. 3 on the shot clock and a turnover. And the Green Wave give it right back. Second miscue for Frazier. Barkley to Williams. A little showtime in Greenville.
Oh, my goodness. But again, a defensive sequence is outstanding. And then you play giveaway in transition. Leads to easy points for the Pirates.
Alley-oop, Frazier. One of the whistle doesn't get it. He's got some ups. We saw that in pregame. Couldn't connect there. White. A little drop step in the end, one opportunity.
Pretty good answer by East Carolina after Tulane had gotten on a little bit of a roll. Caleb White, really not known as a drive and force it to the rim kind of guy. The left-hander with the right hand into the paint, scoring down in that high rent district.
A very impressive start.
But they've got a freshman point guard, Galen Robinson Jr., that I really like. Playing really well. It's all about the number of possessions for Houston. They have to play up-tempo.
3 the hard way for Caleb White, and the lead is pushed up to 6. Mark Wise, Roy Philpott, glad to have you along. Fun start to this one as well. We've seen a little back and forth with both teams. Osikowski double team. And a 5-second call. Steve Olson, our veteran officiating crew, making the easy call there.
That's where Osikowski has to realize that the double team is coming. Get rid of the ball quicker. Take a look. There's the short corner in the double team. But notice all the green jerseys standing away. When you've got a teammate in trouble, seek the ball. Make it easier for your teammate to find you.
Opportunity down for the Pirates to take their largest lead with the basket here. They've been spreading the wealth as well with 7 dimes already on 8 made field goals. 7 to shoot. Tyson, double team with the bounce.
Boy, how did he get that shot off around Paul inside?
Now averaging 15 points per game. He's got to be crafty in this conference. That's good enough for 7th in the league in terms of scoring. 3's off the mark by Morris.
And that's one of the problems with this Tulane team. Morgan was wide open. They just have not knocked down shots on a consistent basis.
When Tyson was nearly lassoed that time.
Here he is on the drive, the ball fake. Notice he kind of hesitated in the air and somehow got that around the outstretched hands of Blake Paul and got the basket.
Foul went against Julian. And a timeout called by Ed Conroy and the Tulane Green Wave. 3 timeouts remaining, under 6 to play here in Greenville.
I don't think Ed Conroy was too pleased with his team in that timeout. You know, Jeff Lebo's team has kind of responded. Tulane answered East Carolina's early run, got back into it, and now the Pirates have responded. But isn't that our game?
It's a game of runs.
It's a game of runs. Make shots.
8 points now for B.J. Tyson. And the largest lead of the night, call it 10 for ECU. Julian inside, nice pump fake and a sweet pass.
I'm curious why East Carolina would go down the floor. Tulane struggling so much with that zone on the half court, gave them an open floor opportunity.
Osikowski now with 7 points after tweaking his back earlier and appears to be okay now. White at his pocket pick. Nice defense that time by Frazier. Ahead to Morgan off the glass with the left hand.
I said easy points would be at a premium.
And the lead has been trimmed to 6. East Carolina and even 50% from the field to start this one. Aja the miss. Paul clears.
Same short corner. Much better job by Osikowski.
Well, Paul had a path to the basket, instead opts for the turnaround hook shot. And the tip in by Osikowski, who now has 9 points in the lead. Just like that, Mark, trimmed to 4.
Osikowski, Roy, has redefined what a bad game is for him. Last year, he would have games where he'd have 3 points and 3 rebounds. Now a bad game for him is when he goes 8 and 8.
Yeah, I think Ed Conroy will take that most nights, even though the potential is there for much more. White for 3. And here comes Tulane hanging around here. And a late whistle will bail out Malik Morgan, who was caught in traffic.
Tulane responds because they've gotten out and executed much better in the half court. Watch this press break. Keep the ball moving. Don't let the defense get set. Recruiting visit was going well. The mother says, "Can I talk to you for a minute?" They go outside, and the mother says, "What do you think? How do you think it's going?" And he said, "Well, not very good." And she said, "You need to relax. He's going to the Citadel, but I need for you to understand that I'm dying." And so, to make a long story short, Bo Holston's mother died in his freshman year. Ed Conroy made the promise to the Holston family that he would see her son through. When Tulane came calling going into Bo's senior year, Ed Conroy did not take the job until he talked to the dad, Joel Holston. And Joel Holston said, "Coach, you've done more than held up your end of the bargain."
Fantastic story. And Ziggy down low. Beautiful big man move, and East Carolina back out in front by 5. That speaks to the kind of man that Ed Conroy is. A graduate of the Citadel back in 1989. Tulane now back to work is Dabney. Free throw line extended, can't connect. Tyson the rebound. Well, East Carolina probing and trying to dissect that Tulane zone, and now the Green Wave back in a man-to-man.
I think this is an important 2.5 minutes for how Tulane closes the half.
Williams off the glass.
They've weathered several runs by East Carolina. They need to be the hang-around team tonight.
That's what they've done so far. ECU back in their matchup zone.
See, Dabney needs to step in. Every time he passes the ball, he has to step in and be a threat on top.
Osikowski not ready for that pass. It had some mustard on it. No-look dish. Tyson, the runner. A dangerous pass out of bounds, and Frazier collides with Barkley in the process.
I like the look ahead, but that ball had a lot of air on it. Frazier's one of those high-energy guys, isn't he? Dabney looks ahead. Ball just doesn't clear Barkley.
No, Frazier in this one so far has been feast or famine for Ed Conroy's bunch. A couple of turnovers, a couple of assists as well. Under 2 to play in our first half. Frazier Nearly turns it over. Osakowski, the wraparound flush.
He has made so many good strides from his freshman to sophomore year. I said at the Open, he's a double-double threat every night out.
11 points, 5 rebounds already tonight. And we're not even at halftime.
And he had to sit out some minutes.
That's right. And Ziggy, the step back. Where'd that come from?
A guy that really makes his living block to block in terms of scoring.
Dabney the pump fake. Reynolds inside, has it poked away. That was Tejada. Under a minute to play in the first. And Ziggy back to work. Instant offense for 13 and White.
All of a sudden, both teams are trying to attack inside. Take a look at Dylan Osakowski. Loose ball situation, fumbled to him. How about the little two-handed schwackles in traffic? Up and under.
And Ziggy back iron on the first of 2. 81% of the line this year.
There's Osakowski from what he did last year to this year. Almost doubling his rebounds. 40% more on the scoring end.
Yeah, just a sophomore.
Did a good piece to build around.
Back to an 8-point lead. 23-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock.
They should go 2 for 1 here. Attack quick.
Well, you don't see that enough in the college game, do you? Morgan. Osakowski on the offensive glass and fouled from behind. Personal call against Tejada.
Dabney made the right read, and Malik Morgan, 33% from bonus land on the year. He had nobody around him.
Green Wave not yet in the bonus. Now a 9-second difference between the game and shot clock. And Frazier. Near another turnover.
I'm really impressed. You didn't even flinch.
Well, it wasn't coming our direction.
Coming at us.
I was going to shove you in the front of that one.
I've seen that act before.
East Carolina trying to win its 9th game at home this season. Frazier. In and out. Shot clock is off. And the quick foul by Reynolds.
And not a smart foul. 60 feet from the basket. East Carolina in the bonus. Ed Conroy, Jeff Lebo both talked to us today about the morale being good. Players are playing hard.
That was my first question. I wanted to know what the mojo was right now with both of these teams.
Kentrell Barkley, who's kind of emerged in the last 4 games, double-figure score. Another good-looking freshman.
Tulane controls. Shot clock is off. And the lead is 9 for the Pirates. B.J. Tyson with 8 and Ziggy with 7 here in the first.
Be a good way to close the half because Tulane has the possession arrow.
6 seconds remaining. Morgan, another open look. And the rainbow 3 swishes. Well, a big shot right before the buzzer. Puts Tulane right back in it.
Because of the sophomore, Dylan Osakowski.
Take a look at our first half stats. East Carolina and even 50% from the field. Just one made shot from bonus land. And the edge on the boards to the Green Wave.
Remember I said it was an important last possession for Tulane. They knocked down the trade because they had the possession arrow. They can link positive possessions together, spanning the 2 halves.
Dabney the miss. Back to live action. Osakowski can't connect. And here come the Pirates with a 6-point lead.
Tulane has opened the second half man-to-man. It's a bad matchup out on the floor. Osakowski on Williams.
And a step back. B.J. Tyson, mid-range jumper.
That's a no. Okay.
Pirates back in their matchup zone, just underway. Final 20 minutes here in Greenville, North Carolina. Same two teams will meet up 2 weeks from today down in New Orleans. Julian the answer.
But again, it's all because of the ball fake by Morgan, which got the zone to overcommit to his side. Ball fake, find a teammate.
East Carolina's resume includes wins at Memphis and at home here against Temple. Nearly defeated Houston. That game went to overtime. And a foul inside will go against Tulane.
Yeah, that was the first time East Carolina had ever won at Memphis. Memphis has had a real roller coaster of a season, both in and out of conference play.
Personal foul went against Ryan Smith, his first. Winning in Memphis, despite the fact the Tigers probably not what we thought they were, still very impressive for East Carolina. Straightaway threes off the mark by Prince Williams, but the rebound controlled by Nzigi.
Long shots, long rebounds. Guards have to get involved.
And a lot of times they don't want to do that, Mark, as Osakowski's called for the foul. That's his second.
This is stepping out, trying to hedge on the ball screen. Osakowski, who has good position. Barkley hesitates and then bangs into him again, but I thought Barkley got away with a little push, maybe.
A slight shove. He'll feed the big fella, Kanu Aja. Nice move off the glass.
It didn't look pretty. It was a great finish.
And a foul inside. Aja just connected on the other end. Is whistled for the foul here.
Watch the way Ryan Smith crowds inside as a defender. Once the big guy gets the ball, you've got to step back and create some space to move as a big. And then Aja with a wonderful finish, left hand.
I thought that was a nice move right there, Coach.
Big time.
Out of bounds, a collision, no whistle. We'll stay with the green wave. It's Dabney, who hurt his wrist a couple of weeks ago.
If you're sitting in the front row at East Carolina and Dabney is coming at you, not good.
Feel like a yield sign. Nobody wants to mess with that. 2 minutes into the second half, 7-point lead for ECU. And a dangerous pass is picked off by the Pirates. Prince Williams the finish. Williams with 8, and the ECU lead balloons to 9.
Danger zone again for Tulane. This is where any kind of shot will work. Everybody wants to put the ball on the deck against the zone. Ball movement, body movement.
8 to shoot. Dabney in traffic. Gets it back and one. And Dabney may have hurt himself as he hit the deck, grabbing the back of his left ankle. Dabney will attempt to walk it off, Coach.
Everybody on that Tulane bench holding their breath. Take another look. Dabney with a challenged look. Goes back up quickly. Gets the rebound and comes down. Couldn't really tell there. Immediately grabbed the back of his left ankle.
He appears to be trying to walk it off right now. Well, nobody's going to question this kid's toughness. He's a senior from New Orleans, missed the USF game with a wrist injury. Physical player, as we've been talking about. Ed Conroy said he's the X factor tonight, and converts 3 the hard way. Well, how do you like that? Back to a 6-point game in Nzigi.
He made a move like that and finished in the first frame.
Dabney claps for it. Tyson. 1-on-3. Prince Williams, another strong finish at the rack. 10 points now for the Prince. Back in the zone. The lead is back to 8 for ECU. Osikowski had 11 in the first 20 minutes. Scoreless so far in the second. And an air ball.
And Morgan had a better shot when he caught the pass than off the bounce. Oh, is that sweet?
Nice assist. Kentrell Barkley connects from distance. And East Carolina with an 11-point lead, and Ed Conroy has seen it up.
East Carolina comes out of the gate quickly here in the second half.
Already with 10 tonight, his 6th straight in double figures. This guy has figured it out late in his career.
I agree, and he's creeping up on a double-double tonight with those 6 helpers as well. Full court pressure, giving Tulane yet a different look.
And Morgan high off the glass gets it to go.
Well, that's a tough finish.
Transfer from LSU, getting the job done. East Carolina back to work. And Williams fires it out of bounds for a rare turnover. The lead is 9 for East Carolina. Timeout on the floor. Step aside as well here in Greenville.
An elevation in design.
Ever in the regular season.
109-106.
I was in Rupp Arena the night that Villanova shocked the world against Georgetown, so that's going to be number 1.
Could be a lot of fun coming up Saturday between Kansas and Oklahoma. The Big 12 so loaded this year, especially at the top. So many different teams capable of making a run perhaps come March. 7 to shoot. Osikowski, an open look. In the corner 3, short this time. You think about the Big 12, Iowa State, West Virginia, OU, Kansas, and a shooting foul as Williams attacks.
But here's something that I think gets lost in all the talk about the Big 12. The ACC is really good and really deep. And I think percentage-wise, in terms of getting teams in, top 25 teams, top 50 RPI, the ACC is right there with the Big 12. Well, I don't think there's a gap.
Right. ESPN bracketologist Joe Lenardi tells us the ACC would get 8 teams in the field right now, maybe as many as 10, depending on what happens with Clemson and Florida State and Syracuse down there at the midway point of the league. The Big 12, though, I think has got a better chance of winning a national championship.
Now, that may be a good point.
All right, so the Big 12 perhaps more top-heavy. The ACC,
I think the ACC,
a bit deeper.
I think that's I would agree with that, but I will say this, in defense of the Big 12, Kansas State has played their way up the ladder.
Right.
They're in the conversation. That win over Oklahoma, yeah.
And Kansas State comes on as soon as we're done here in Greenville against Baylor. Baylor Bears 17-1 when shooting over 40% this season. Both of those teams capable of doing some damage in the Big 12 tournament and perhaps beyond. And Kansas State just beat Oklahoma. So welcome to February. You can only imagine what March is going to throw our direction.
And why is parity bad again?
Now everybody's going to have a chance this year, that's for sure. 5 on the shot clock. Osikowski, Julian, and Dabney. Boy, as a senior, you got to be more aware than that.
Well, I think Julian, the young freshman, put him in a tough spot, though. By the time the ball got around to Dabney, not a lot of options.
14 turnovers for Tulane tonight.
Yeah, they've got more turnovers than they have made field goals.
White fouled by Osikowski.
You know, Roy, I was looking at the last break. When you take a look at East Carolina's shot selection, does it surprise you it's North Carolina-ish, if there is such a term?
Yes.
B.J. Tyson with 7 shots. Prince Williams with 6. Caleb White with 5. Michael Nzigi with 4. Aja and Barkley with 3 each. I don't think that's by accident. They're marvelous at sharing the basketball. One of the reasons why they have, from their 17 made shots, 15 assists.
Jeff Lebo, of course, from North Carolina, maybe made a call to Roy Williams. Coach, how can we spread the wealth here? Probably not. And assistant coach Amon Williams also on the bench. Well, he was a great shooter back in the day in the ACC. A little shake and bake from Reynolds. And out of bounds, turnover number 15 for the Green Wave.
Yeah, you just can't play giveaway on the road the way at the rate. As there's a look at the bench. That's the Tulane side with Coach Williams over there. Carolina represented on both ends.
6 minutes into the second, Barkley. And what opportunity. Now the freshman from Durham has started his last 4 games, his 5th in a row tonight, and averaging nearly 13 points per contest in those starts. Getting the job done.
Another basket from an assist. This is a flex cut on the baseline. Again, show the basketball. Frazier bites, and again, another Tulane player goes down. You know, both of these programs have dealt with big-time injuries all year long. This is the freshman, Blake Paul.
Yeah, Jeff Lebo had been told us today, we look around sometimes, and we got assistant coaches getting bloody noses right now.
Yes.
That's how bad it's been. Token full court pressure. Tulane goes to work with 20 on the shot clock. Well, Reynolds just looked uncomfortable in that spot. From the wing.
Again, it's the old adage, any shot is better. The worst shot is better than the best turnover.
Kane Harris, 30% three-point shooter this season. Back to a 10-point game inside, and the Green Wave defense holds.
East Carolina just cannot put away Tulane.
Frazier back iron. Prince Williams the rebound. Directing traffic. Barkley. And Tulane fortunate that time. The lead wasn't extended to 13. In and out for Dabney. White the rebound.
I'm okay with that look, though. He was in rhythm.
Boy, Tyson's been in rhythm all night long. 12 points for B.J. Tyson.
Steve Olson stops play. And Paul is hurt a little bit more than first thought. He's gone to the end of the bench.
But Tyson's been impressive tonight, Coach, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's starting to learn that defenses are just not going to allow him to catch and shoot on the perimeter like they did last year. So he's had to kind of expand his offensive game, and he's done so here tonight, scoring that time off the bounce.
It's amazing, too, what hot shooting can do for a team. You watch East Carolina in this matchup, shooting 53% from the field, 19 of 36, and everything just appears to be in rhythm, in a flow. That's something Jeff Lebo's been in search of.
Why is it your defense gets energized from your offense?
That's exactly right.
And not the other way around.
When you don't see the ball go in the basket, it creates some negative momentum. And it's hard to translate that good energy back on the defensive end of the floor. And it's always been that way, you know. Too strong on the three, and the fight for the loose ball is won by Reynolds.
I'll tell you why they got that putback, because Frazier got involved. He didn't get the rebound, he didn't get the putback, but he caused the play to happen.
Ten-point lead approaching 12 minutes to go. East Carolina 10-13 overall, 2-8 in the league. Those 2 wins coming at Memphis and at home against Temple. And inside the foul called against the Green Wave.
It's a little elbow play that East Carolina likes to isolate in Ziggy. Ryan Smith guilty with the hands.
Smith, his second personal. And Gary checks back in, and Ziggy out.
What did Jeff Lebo tell us today? Zangari was a really good 4-man in Conference USA.
Very telling. In this conference, SMU, UConn, Tulsa, Temple.
The size and the skill of the 4- and 5-man. A huge upgrade. Great slip screen.
And Zangari draws the contact. Attacking the basket. Well, coming up, Mark Wise dropping more knowledge as he takes a listen inside the East Carolina huddle. And a 10-point lead for the Pirates.
Don't like shopping for clothes? That's why there's 5-4 Club.
Tech as well. I asked him today about this, the status of this program and kind of where they are. And he said, we're growing. We're getting better. We're still transitioning into the American, as we've been talking about, Mark. But you get the sense in talking to some of the fans and the people close to this program, they know, they get it. It may take another year or two to make the transition complete. And then once you get there, of course, the league is very difficult.
Last year, there was a huge gap between the top of the league and the bottom of the league. I think what Houston has done, what UCF is trying to do, they have narrowed that gap.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the next step, is to knock off those guys.
Ryan Smith, the basket. He now has 4 points. The lead is back to 10. Mark Wise, Roy Philpott, glad to have you along. And Tulane back in a man-to-man defense. Zingari. A nice move in traffic, rejected, but Barkley's there to clean it up.
That's why you want to be active on the offensive glass. Just be in the right spot, and you're usually in the right spot if you're active.
Back to the matchup zone, approaching the halfway point of the second.
Doesn't it feel like East Carolina is dominated? And it's a 12-point game.
We look at the updated American Athletic Conference standings. Of course, number 16 SMU ineligible for postseason play, and then 4 or 5 teams competing for a handful of spots in March Madness.
I talked about Houston. They've won more games than they did a year ago in league play. UCF has tied the number of league wins that they've had. So, again, that gap in the middle has gotten a lot closer in this conference. Now, that's going to be the challenge for East Carolina, USF, and Tulane.
Think about the tournament. East Carolina has the potential to be a very dangerous team, especially with the teams they've already defeated this year. Memphis on the road and Temple. Don't sleep on the Pirates to maybe pull off an upset or two.
When you can shoot the basketball as well as East Carolina can shoot it at times from bonus land, you can be a dangerous out. Remember, Temple has only got 2 losses in conference play. One of them was right here on this court.
That's right. Dabney picks up his second. Tyson at the stripe with a 1-and-1. And Tyson a miss out of bounds to the Greenway.
Speaking of Temple, I had the pleasure of their win last week at UCF. And that's the night that Fran Dunphy became the all-time winningest coach in Big 5 history.
Means a lot.
It was pretty cool.
He's done a great job with the Owls. They're going to be a tough out as well.
Big game for them. Tomorrow night, they have UConn. Next Wednesday, they have #1 ranked Villanova. Temple announced yesterday that game's already a sellout at the Liacouras Center.
Dabney fouled from behind by Williams, and that'll be his 3rd. Prince Williams with 3 personals, a senior from Raleigh. No, check that. Zingari picks up a personal. Ed Conroy asking about that last sequence, top of your screen. Pirates by 12. Their largest lead has been 13 this evening. Well, Frazier, as we found out, is not scared to shoot one early in the clock. And Reynolds inside with a nifty move and the finish. Cameron Reynolds with 4.
It's much better execution against the zone.
Prince attacks 13.
Dare I say, royalty.
Under 10 to play. Green Wave need a couple of baskets, a couple of stops. Outside to Morgan. And a big 3. The redshirt junior, the second leading scorer. The LSU transfer gives Tulane a chance.
Back-to-back good possessions, good execution of the Green Wave. They just will not go away.
And losing it out of bounds is White. And off of Frazier's fingertips.
Good execution against the zone. 2 straight possessions. Usually getting the ball into that free throw line. Reynolds much more definitive with the good finish. The second one, Dabney got it in that free throw line. Kick out to the corner led to the shot from bonus land.
8 to shoot. Williams probing against Dabney. With the 3.
How sweet.
16 points, 7 dimes, a couple of rebounds to boot for the Prince.
True. The double-double, maybe?
And the answer by Morgan.
It's a virus. All of a sudden, we've got a 3-point shooting virus.
Lead is back to 9. Green Wave have to come up with some kind of something defensively. A couple of stops in a row. And they'll get one here. Osikowski. And throws up a prayer after being hammered. Hurt his back in the first 20 minutes. Appears to be okay here.
So you want to work for us and be one of the cameramen? With a 6'9" guy coming at you. Watch this.
2:45. And we get the smile, and apparently Lowry McClain appears to be okay.
Larry, are you okay down there? He's back up. He's ready to play. He's a gamer.
Yes. Approaching the 8-minute mark. Green Wave need a basket. Maybe another triple. Osikowski inside and 3 the hard way. The opportunity coming up. The lead is trimmed to 7. Tulane hanging around. Prince Williams doing a remarkable job this evening. 16 points, including 3 triples so far. Averaging almost 20 in his last 4, and the big man inside, Osikowski, looking for the N1 opportunity when we come back.
Have you been denied credit? Or are you paying high interest rates because of a low credit score? Join the thousands.
Straight game with double-figure points.
7 dimes as well. Osikowski, meanwhile, 3 the hard way. The lead has been trimmed to 6.
They will not go away, which is a credit to the players, credit to the staff, Ed Conroy.
White to miss, Osikowski the rebound. Well, Tulane has been here a couple of times tonight, and East Carolina's maintained a working margin of at least 6 points. Morgan, back iron and a quick trigger, yields nothing. Williams skies for the rebound and a quick whistle against the Green Wave.
You know, again, Morgan, that's a little bit of a, you said it, a quick trigger. I'd like to probe the defense a little bit longer. You work so hard to get back to a 2-possession game. And you compound the problem by fouling on the rebound.
Both teams in the bonus, coach. Williams at the strike, 80% this season. And now 4 for 5 right on target this evening.
One shot.
Yes, so Tulane's been knocking on the door multiple occasions in a 2-possession game. And it just hasn't happened so far. East Carolina stays in the matchup zone, approaching 7 to play in Greenville.
Notice Tulane has put Dabney in that free throw line area, but that's a forced pass by Frazier.
16 turnovers for the Green Wave, and East Carolina gives it right back. That's their 9th this year. Now the Green Wave have lost 6 games in a row coming in. Their lone conference victory against USF earlier this season. You got to wonder, Mark, are they struggling with confidence right now to try to eke one out, especially on the road? We'll find out.
Well, I think when you have had the struggles that both of these teams have, you don't have a lot of confidence in closing games. It's a struggle for both.
Dabney's been held in check for the most part. Morgan, another big triple.
But again, it's Dabney by getting the ball at that elbow, attracting defenders. Opposite kick out.
4-point game. Morgan with 19, including 4 from bonus land. And here's the steal. Morgan off to the races and the finish. The lead is 2.
All of a sudden, East Carolina is playing giveaway.
Malik Morgan leads all scorers now with 21 points. And Barkley off the knee of Frazier.
I've talked about this all night long, but when the ball goes inside the zone in this free throw line area, look at all the white jerseys around Dabney. He finds the open teammate in the opposite corner, and Morgan knocks down the 3-ball.
Another turnover. Dabney. Osakowski trails, but Dabney ties it up. What a comeback by Tulane.
Did you see the way Dabney just kind of threw Williams out of the way?
Timeout, Jeff Lebo. I did, Coach.
Dabney coming downhill. Well, these two teams meet in 2 weeks from tonight in New Orleans.
So the plot thickens inside of Minji's Coliseum. Tulane in the midst of a 13-1 run. And the defense is back. Williams with a floater and a strong finish.
But that finish came out of good organization and spacing in the half court.
19 points for Prince Williams. This has been fun. And this is where Conroy wants Dabney to attack. He does. And the contested shot is short. It'll stay the Great Wave, however.
I talked about the execution. Take a look. The gap is open from a simple ball pass. So many good things happen when you move the ball in the air and not on the deck.
Approaching 5 to play. Reynolds will initiate the offense.
I think Reynolds has been more comfortable out on the point than he has in that free throw line area.
10 on the shot clock. Frazier not bashful, the runner. Too strong out of bounds to ECU. And Caleb White suffered concussion-like symptoms a few weeks ago. Helped off the floor slowly here.
This Pirate team has had a litany of injuries all year long that Jeff Lebo said, I've just never seen anything like it. Take another look as he's defending, and they kind of get stepped on each other, I think. Didn't look like a lot.
Grabbed the right ankle on the way down. Pirates lead it by 2 with possession.
Don't you just love the way the players are toughing it out, though?
Even in a down season, both of these teams 100% effort tonight. High execution this evening as well. 7 to shoot, and Williams fouled by Julian, attacking the baseline.
Yeah, I'm not sure Tulane has anybody that can guard the Prince, except maybe Dabney, and Dabney's getting a breather.
Williams at the stripe. 4 of 6 so far in this one. Make it 5 of 7. I mean, the story on Williams, you mentioned it earlier, Mark. He's a senior from right up the road in Raleigh, averaging 9 points per game, but nearly 20 in the last 2 weeks. Also 6th in the conference in assists per game, right at 4. 4th in the league as well in assist to turnover ratio. So this guy's getting the job done.
Every coach wants their senior to be playing their best basketball of their career. That's what Prince Williams is doing.
But it leaves you with a nice taste in your mouth leaving the program too, right? Reynolds has it stolen away. And the crowd comes to life here in Greenville.
And finally, ECU kind of slows down, spaces the floor properly.
Tyson. Frazier corrals the rebound. On the other end, Frazier. The putback. Back to a 2-point game.
That energy guy has a little bounce in his step.
First points of the night, Mark. 3 boards, 2 assists. And we'll see if that gets his confidence going. White. Quick shot, Frazier the rebound. Reynolds short, Barkley controls. 4 on 2. Barkley. Williams swatted away. And the putback in Ziggy. And a timeout called by Tulane.
It's Tulane that is last in the league in league play at making threes. But they've made 8 tonight, while East Carolina's only made 3. Carolina's second best in the league at making shots from bonus land.
Now Malik Morgan's been one of the big reasons why. Cuts it loose here and connects. Malik Morgan, 24 points to lead all scorers.
Now that's a new career high for him.
Tulane has led in this game just one time with 16:36 remaining in the first half. Little stop in a basket. They can do it again. Boy, nothing comes easy in this conference. I don't care who you are.
Or where you are in the standings.
Barkley swatted away at a late whistle.
That's a good call.
Steve Olson made the call, baseline, and that'll put Barkley for strike.
Frazier with a chop. As Barkley was trying to drive. Watch this. Right there. It's a good call. Across the arms.
That's a foul where I come from. Big free throw by Barkley. 14 points. 5 of 8 at the strike.
Don't push.
And Barkley's 72% at the line this season.
And so is his team in league play. A good free throw shooting team.
Approaching 2 minutes to play. Tulane trails by 3 on the road. And suddenly this crowd has come to life the last couple of minutes, Mark. Osikowski back in. That's 21 in green. Reynolds an air ball. His eyes got big on that one. Barkley. The runner out of control and a wild shot.
I like the aggression. I just don't like the shot.
Dabney. And one. How did he get that basketball to go in the basket, hanging on the rim at the last possible second?
Is this a guard play or a fullback going through the line? Not a lot of contact. But Dabney being protected there gets the whistle and the kind roll.
The senior Lewis Dabney a chance to tie it up. And he does. 4th time tonight. This time it's 69.
Now let's see who's willing to take and make big shots.
Well, you got to think they're going to dial something up for 4. Prince Williams. 21 points to lead all scorers. Barkley with 15 as well.
But look who's guarding Prince Williams now.
Senior versus senior. 10 on the shot clock. Tyson Straight away.
Just a little screen the screener, just enough of a rub. Tulane only has one timeout left.
East Carolina with 2, 15 on the shot clock. Morgan, offensive foul. What a play by B.J. Tyson, known for his offense. Took the charge there, Coach.
Well, without question, this has always been the toughest call. I think that's a bad break, because that's not close. That's a foul and an and one.
Well, when you're 1-8 away from home, those are the kind of calls that go against you. You're right.
Now, up 2. Do you have the courage to go 2 for 1 here? East Carolina should, in my opinion.
Instead, they'll bleed some clock. 24-second differential between the game and shot clock. And here's Williams. Tyson connected here moments ago. Calls for the timeout, and Steve Olson grants him that. East Carolina now with 1 timeout remaining on a heads-up play by Tyson. He hit the deck hard that time.
With only 2 left on the shot clock. Here is the Dabney drive.
But let's be smart about it.
I would look for something either at the rim or coming around to the ball, a wraparound.
Tyson gets it, throws it up. Nearly got it to go. 2-point game, shot clock is up. Here come the Green Wave.
Well, I'm a big believer in taking your time out here. There's a lot of discussion about just let the guys play. I'm of the opinion the need to be organized on offense far super.
Morgan will trigger the inbounds. 14 and change remaining. Green Wave trail by 2. Seven seconds remaining. Dabney against Williams for the tie. Got it! .4 remaining. Tyson from half court. To overtime we go. Love it!
East Carolina will survive here in overtime.
Well, Tulane 1-1 this year in the extra session. East Carolina winless 0-1 as we are underway now. The final 5 minutes. In a tie ball game, Tulane with possession. Mark Wise, Roy Philpott, glad to have you along. This has been an entertaining one in the AAC. Morgan's had the hot hand, a career high. And Williams with the rebound. Three players in double figures for East Carolina. Prince with 21, Barkley with 15, Tyson with 14.
Here's our big-time matchup out front. Trying to isolate Tyson.
7 on the shot clock. Williams, little shake and bake, and the finish at the rim.
That is so good.
Back in the zone. Green Wave probe. Morgan with 24. That's a career high. Dabney hit the game-tying shot in regulation, and another big basket here.
Power hoops. Lewis Dabney style.
You called him a fullback. I suggested he's built like a yield sign. Pick your poison. The guy gets the job done.
They got caught on a switch now.
Williams, the floater. Osikowski, the rebound. Tulane is led for all of 14 seconds tonight. Dabney will head to the stripe to shoot 2.
This is playing downhill. Talked about Williams earlier. Watch all the moves that he gives you here. Crossover, hesitation, another hesitation move, and then the blow by. Tough finish. Right hand on the left-handed side of the floor. A lot of game in that move.
I'm trying to think about who that reminds me of. Go back maybe to Jalen Rose. So many players that you see at the next level. And Dabney misses the first of two. It was a piece of art, though, in watching him in motion that time. Green Wave haven't led since the 16:36 mark of the first half. And still haven't.
Caleb White's been quiet. Tyson is not. And the jump ball arrow favors ECU. Boy, Tyson's hit the deck hard a couple of times the last 5 minutes of game time.
Yeah, ECU has kind of gone to this three-man weave, trying to create some driving angles. But guys are fumbling the ball on the way in all the time. It's in a lot of ways, it's been a game of runs and it's been a game of turnovers. They missed in Ziggy on the out under.
Screen for Tyson. 9 to shoot. Against Morgan. Tyson attacks. ECU by 2.
I don't know why Morgan angled his body. He almost invited the drive. Now, can Tulane get the ball to Dabney?
Dabney's found that seam, that crease, throughout the second half. Frazier turns it over, his fourth. Barkley.
But all of Frazier's turnovers have been of the same variety, putting the ball on the deck in places where he shouldn't be going. Got to have good court sense. Dabney saves the easy deuce. Makes Barkley go to the free throw line. The run out. And Dabney wanted to make sure. You know, players are a little tired. Fatigue comes into play. Got to step up and knock the free throws down.
Well, especially during the grind time of the conference season. Barkley 15 points, 8 rebounds tonight. Also has a career-high 5 steals. So he has helped initiate a lot of those Tulane turnovers down low. 3-point game.
Now Ed Conroy has flipped. Well, I started to say that, and he put Dabney back in that attack area.
Frazier trying to spot Osikowski, can't do it. Reynolds the miss. Tip in, no good, and a foul as Dabney hacks Barkley.
Yeah, not a smart foul by Dabney. Fouling 75 feet from the basket. You had no chance of getting that steal. And it's his fourth.
Well, Jeff Lebo's got to like his position. 2 minutes remaining in the extra session. A 3-point lead. And Barkley, who's 7 of 11 at the stripe tonight, shooting free throws. And 2 coming his way. Prince Williams with 23, Barkley with 17, Tyson with 16. Reminder, Baylor and Kansas State coming up as soon as we're done here in the American. And right now you can watch that game on the ESPN app. Under 2 minutes. Both teams with 1 timeout remaining. Reynolds will put his shoulder down. Basket will not count. Fouls on the floor.
Good adjustment by Ed Conroy because he changed up the way his team attacked the zone. And instead of having Reynolds out top, where he's struggled at times, especially shooting, he puts him as the swing guy on the baseline, that short corner guy.
Reynolds a good shooter. And the front end is good.
Team foul number 9 on East Carolina, so both teams will shoot the 2-shot free throw variety from this point forward.
Being told now that Caleb White is taking a quick trip into the East Carolina locker room, nursing an injury. Missed some time with a concussion a few weeks ago, so that's a big loss. Back to a one-possession game.
I think there's too much time here to milk the possession. Attack, stay aggressive.
Reminder, if you're tuning in, waiting to see Baylor and Kansas State, that game can be found on the ESPN app. As Barkley, a hard foul against Morgan.
Zangari should have been a scorer there.
Was tentative.
Yeah, East Carolina did the right thing. Williams got into the paint, attracted the big, fed him. He was almost startled.
2 shots. 2.
2 coming for Barkley. Short.
Barkley's one of the few guys that doesn't dribble on the line.
You like that?
No, I like a guy to find his rhythm. Watch this. He doesn't dribble, just kind of catches and goes.
Missed a pair. An opportunity for the Green Wave. Same 2 teams meet up 2 weeks from today.
Certainly, you do not have to panic and take a bad 3 here.
Dabney nearly traveled. Frazier thought about it, and Frazier turns it over again. Mr. Energy has struggled at times trying to contain himself.
Tried to take an extra hop on the jump hop. Watch this. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's a trap.
20 turnovers now for Tulane. Approaching a minute to play in overtime. Williams throws one up. Boy, that was a prayer. He lost his balance.
I think Dabney deflected that on the way up.
Green Wave needed 3 or a quick 2. Dabney hit the game-tying shot at the end of regulation. And a timeout call by Ed Conroy. That's going to be his final. 3-point lead for East Carolina. Overtime continues next. Boy, Dabney pouring sweat. He's been the workhorse here in the second half and in overtime. And we'll see if they design a play for him. 10 to shoot. Dabney for the tie.
Credit Ed Conroy with that.
Now, 22 points for the senior. 24 seconds remaining the game, and shot clock mark virtually identical.
Jeff Lebo's going to let him play. What a matchup right here. This is going to be Prince against the linebacker.
Senior v. senior. Williams. He's got to hurry. Williams, contested 3. Comes up short, double overtime.
Well, let me tell you why we're going to double overtime, because of that young man there and what Ed Conroy drew. And Roy, I don't care if you are at the top of the standings, the middle of the standings, or the bottom of the standings. This is great stuff.
It's been great basketball.
Oh.
Both teams executing on both ends of the floor, different times tonight. So here we go once again.
And notice that Tulane does not have Dabney on the floor. Von Julian running the point.
Getting a little bit of a breather. Reynolds double team. Morgan. Osikowski. And now it pops out to B.J. Tyson. Williams, the pump fake. And turns it over. A reminder, if you're waiting for Baylor, Kansas State, that game can be found on the Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. We will send you there to Manhattan as soon as we're done here in Greenville. And Mark, we got some work to do, partner.
Bonus hoops ×2. Notice Dabney was not out very long.
He's just trying to catch his breath. They'll work it inside. Reynolds the miss. Barkley another rebound. That's his 10th. So Kentrell Barkley now a double-double.
Boy, I just don't think East Carolina is at their best when they are grinding out possessions. Wow, how did that not go out of bounds? How is that not a foul?
No whistle. Barkley inside.
Big call here.
Offensive foul.
That is a huge call because Dabney was the guy taking the charge.
Remember the bang-bang play with Malik Morgan at the end of regulation. It appeared to be a blocking foul. It was ruled a charge, negating an and-one opportunity. This time Tulane gets the benefit of the doubt.
And you know my rule of thinking on that, if there's any doubt, it's a block. Give the benefit to the offensive guy.
It's a tough call to make.
No question. I don't care where you put the arc. It's still the hardest call of all for an official.
Green Wave in search of the lead. Dabney's open. Frazier. Rainbow three, nearly banked in.
But see, East Carolina's not pushing in transition. They're allowing Tulane's defense, which has gotten better here in the second half and the overtimes.
East Carolina 50% from the field. 8 on the shot clock for Prince Williams. And now Tyson. Boy, pushed it up there, too strong. Barkley, his 11th rebound.
But Roy, the shot clock is dictating the quality of shot.
Well, we've seen a lot of possessions here in the last 10 minutes of game time, and with Williams trying to create. And miscommunication, an ECU turnover, they're 14th.
Yeah, but you can see players on both teams really struggling to find a breath. Just a simple miscommunication leads to the turnover.
The last Tulane lead with 16:36 remaining in the first half. Osakowski fouled on the floor, the push.
This is one of those automatics. And the defender puts two hands on a face-up offensive player.
Gary picks up his 4th. What a game this has been for Tulane and Ed Conroy. Baylor and Kansas State available to watch ESPN app as we speak. We'll send you there as soon as we're done here in North Carolina. And Mark, for whatever reason, there is a lid on the basket with Tulane trying to get the lead this evening. Green Wave with just one conference victory coming into this one. And finally, 79-78.
Let's see if East Carolina can get a different look other than the clock goes under 5 and somebody tries to create on their own.
A little pick and pop and a blocking foul.
Now, Steve Olson, I think this is a block for 2 reasons. I'm not sure the defender was out of the arc, but you cannot take what I call a blind charge. St. Gary had the slip screen. No way is he seeing the defender.
Second personal. It's Cameron Reynolds. And Zangari with the miss. 76% rather at the line this year.
But Roy, their free throw percentages and then their free throw percentages with the game on the line.
And that's what it feels like right now. Zangari to the bench. And checking back in is Inzighi. Tied at 79.
What a gutsy performance by both teams.
2 minutes remaining in the second overtime. Will there be a third?
Wow, what a great catch by Osakowski.
Morgan's had the hot hand. And it pops out to Inzighi. Williams, no-look dish. Tyson!
See, that's what I think ECU is at their best. Get out in transition, attack quickly.
And Prince Williams, 23 points to lead ECU. Malik Morgan with 24, the transfer from LSU to lead Tulane. Green Wave basketball as Dabney will set it up.
Osikowski. Fortunate. It didn't cost him.
Should have been a pocket pass. That was going to be an easy deuce. Reynolds' pass from the high-low got deflected and actually went off the official inside. And they're going to take a look at this. Did Osikowski touch it? Ooh, that is close. Notice Antonio Petty with the little shoulder rub. Another look.
Off of Inzighi, clearly. That Osikowski could have, or maybe not.
I think they're going to take a look at every angle we have here.
Steve Olson, Antonio Petty, Kelly Self. Back to live action. A minute and 29 seconds to work with in double overtime. Baylor, Kansas State on the Watch ESPN app as we speak if you're in search of that game. Corner three. Reynolds connects. Tulane back out in front.
Unbelievable that Ed Conroy would have that kind of confidence in Reynolds, who's probably airballed more threes tonight than he's made.
9 points, 10 rebounds for Cameron Reynolds. The Tulane lead is 1 under a minute to play.
Another grinded out possession.
Tyson against Morgan. 7 to shoot. Tyson, right side of the paint. 20 points for B.J. Tyson.
That's just quick and then some.
A 14-second difference between the game and shot clock. And here we go again. Senior against senior. Dabney and one.
Oh, my goodness. Just so strong. Fearless. Attacking the rim. There's not a lot of room there. Prince Williams was quality defense. Has that been a great matchup or what?
Must-see television.
Oh. Dabney playing downhill as he has in the second half in the overtimes.
A chance to give Tulane its largest lead of the night. And he does. 25 points for the senior Lewis Dabney. Shot clock is off. Tyson. Barkley puts it in.
The quick attack.
Shot clock is off. Tied at 85 in double overtime.
East Carolina zones.
7 seconds remaining. Morgan. Too strong. Triple overtime in Greenville.
Wow. I rest my case about coaches using their timeouts. So disorganized. Barkley and Tyson. And for Tulane, Dabney has played 43 minutes. Osikowski, the big guy, has played 41 minutes.
Well, East Carolina had shortened its rotation the last 4 ball games with 3 players averaging over 35 per. And that's going to be tested in the next game at Cincinnati this weekend. And the same theory, of course, applies for Tulane, which will get Memphis on Saturday. Dabney. 5 to shoot. Morgan. And the rebound controlled by Caleb White, who's suddenly back in there. Triple overtime in the American. Well, the question is, who has the most gas left in the tank at this point?
Oh, I sure would be tempted to attack Dabney. Williams has got the matchup he wants. I would clear out and isolate.
Dabney with 4 personals. Tyson rejected at the rim. That was Frazier. Reynolds hit a big 3 moments ago. Boy, it feels like both teams going for the kill shot.
Yeah. Just put together some singles.
Inzighi down low. And fouls after the miss. And for Inzighi, that's it.
Inzighi did everything right. Power move, was aggressive. My old coach used to say, That was $1 million move, but a nickel shot.
And he knows it.
Yeah, he knows it. Upset with himself. One of the things that I'm most impressed about in this game, we're in triple overtime. Two teams fighting to get out of the cellar of this conference. And I look over at the bench, and the last guy on both benches have been into this game from the get-go.
Green Wave back out in front. Reynolds with his 10th point. He now has a double-double. 10 and 11 this evening for Cameron Reynolds. Wait, what haven't we seen in this one? And believe it or not, that will tie the Green Wave's largest lead of the night. Prince Williams has been quiet in the extra session so far. Tyson is not, and continues to have the hot hand. Tyson with 22.
Yeah, he feels like right now there's nobody in the green uniforms that can guard him.
Valley of Frazier, the finish.
Oh, my goodness.
Where did he come from? Can you say SportsCenter top 10 jumping out of the gym?
Melvin Frazier, get up on your trampoline. In traffic with the two-handed schwackums. Again, that's a play, lob over the zone that's called from the bench. And Mr. Energy Guy delivers.
The lead is 3. We saw him do that a couple of times in pregame warmups. We were waiting on it in regulation and now in triple overtime. Williams gets it to go. 25 points.
And notice Caleb White is back in the game. He doesn't look 100%, but he's out there gutting it out.
Both of these teams exhausted. Morgan up and under.
That's too easy.
Back to a 3-point advantage, approaching 2 to play in triple overtime. White.
Now the shoe's on the other foot. Can Tulane maintain their aggressiveness?
Well, look at Dabney. He is feeling every ounce of this one. Soaked in sweat. Deliver the game-tying shot in regulation as well in overtime. And the seniors had one of his better performances of the season. 5 to shoot. Dabney. Wide out. 29 points. His 3rd shot from bonus land. This guy has done it all. And Tulane out of nowhere in our 3rd extra period, suddenly with a 6.
Tulane missed. That's the reason why we find ourselves in the 3rd overtime.
And East Carolina back to work, facing its largest deficit of the night.
Tulane goes zone. Change up.
Tyson. Singari, bothered by Osakowski, and Tulane controls.
Now you can milk clock.
Green Wave trying to end a 6-game losing streak. East Carolina won at Memphis and beat Temple on this floor earlier this season.
See, I'd be tempted to foul Frazier. He's 49%. You don't have to wait till he has the ball.
Osakowski going for the kill shot instead. Draws the foul at the rim. Well, he's attacked the rim a couple of times aggressively.
He's got more bounce than you think. Dabney surveys the scene. Bullet pass. Osakowski, who had one of those flushes in the first half, up and under.
Sangari picks up his 5th foul. He's disqualified.
That means East Carolina's got to go really, really small. Tallest player for them on the floor is Caleb White at 6'7".
And remember, too, the Pirates had a 13-point lead with 14 minutes to go in this one. Tulane hanging around methodically, completed the comeback, and it was Dabney, the senior, that got the job done at the end of regulation, the end of the first overtime, and here we are now in control, believe it or not.
Remember, we kept saying Tulane was going to be the hang-around team, and East Carolina just couldn't seem to give them the knockout blow.
Reminder, Kansas State and Baylor streaming live on the Watch ESPN and ESPN app. We'll get you there as soon as we're done here at East Carolina.
Let me tell you why I like that move by Tyson. Everything that East Carolina does from this point forward will be dictated by how many free throws Tulane makes every time they foul. So if they make 2, I think you've got to have a 3, because you can no longer trade points. You've got to cut into the deficit.
Frazier picked up his 4th. Tyson will shoot 2. Under a minute to play in triple overtime. Tyson with his 22 points, his 2nd miss of the stripe tonight. For Jeff Lebo, that tells you all you need to know right there.
Yeah, East Carolina didn't have both guys, both spots occupied. I'm not a fan of that at all. Now, can you find enough energy to press and trap?
Here comes a full court pressure. Tried to trap Reynolds, did a great job of getting out of there. And now Dabney, fouled by Charles Foster, who just checked in.
But again, you've got to know situation. Harris handled the ball. He hadn't played a whole lot tonight. Reynolds had handled the ball in that possession. I know he's 77%, but this is the one guy I don't want going to the line.
Well, just 3 of 5 tonight, but 81% on the season.
That's short.
He's tired, and I don't blame him.
Because he missed, and notice Tulane didn't have both spots occupied, but because he missed, I think there's time for East Carolina now to attack for a 2.
Missed them both. Barkley another rebound. His 14th. Pirates have to hurry. Williams. And Osakowski has it pop out his direction. And with 36 seconds remaining and a 6-point lead, that may do it for the Green Wave and their 6-game losing streak.
And I just didn't like the 3 that East Carolina shot there in transition. You caught a break with Tulane missing both free throws. Makes one of these 2, it becomes a 3-possession game.
More focus on that attempt. Dabney now 3 away from his career high.
Check out the stat on the right. 47 minutes played.
Makes them both. And the answer by Tyson and a quick timeout by Jeff Lebo. ECU with 1 timeout remaining. Tulane with 2. 32 seconds left here in Greenville. And the lead for Tulane is 6 in this league across the national landscape. Games like what you see here, the triple overtime game between Kansas and Oklahoma, the rematch coming up Saturday at 2:30 on ESPN. You're going to see a lot of these shortly after Selection Sunday. You're going to see a lot of this, I believe.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. We talked about it. Unpredictability and great theater. And we've had both tonight. And that's not to say that this has been the best played game over the 3 overtimes. But in terms of runs and momentum, great theater, fabulous.
And now Dabney with a chance to tie his career high. Rather fitting. He has put this team on his back. And he does it at the stripe. 32 points for the senior. Pirates have to hurry, trailing by 8.
And that will do it. What a gutty win for Ed Conroy's team. Both of their league wins have come on the road.
Makes perfect sense. That'll do it here in Greenville. Our final score, Tulane 100, East Carolina 92. Lewis Dabney, a career high 32 points 11 of 20 from the field in 47 minutes. Coming up next, we'll send you to Manhattan, Kansas for